by Bobby Graham. Um, that quote is, I think, very real. Very real because I think it's very relevant, especially to today. I feel like so many of us try to define ourselves based upon what the external world tells us about ourselves. It's literally like it is an oversaturation of information. But when you think about the information that we get, it's empty information. So it's a lot of information, but it's meaningless. A lot of it not factual, empty information, all coming at us, especially if you're younger, especially if you're like Gen Z and a teenager. You have all these different. Ooh, I'm sorry, it's a cicada. Please don't land on me. Anyway, um, trying to tell you who you are versus you referring to your internal compass, your internal voice. And I know with teenagers, y'all, I got 2 teenagers and I got nieces and nephews. I got other, children that I consider my children, as well. And when I ask them the question, who are you? What makes you happy? What makes you you? What do you want to do? Not like, who do you want to be? There you go, not do. Because I don't expect a teenager to know what they want to do for the rest of their life, but I do expect them to know what makes them happy, the things to do, who are they? And I just realized we got work to do for the world and with my family. Because, when I ask my babies, what makes you happy and what do you want to do? If they have not a good answer, that means like they're going to struggle to set their goals for their life. Like if you don't have a vision, you can't like visualize where you want to head or who you want to become. Then how can you like set an intention? How can you then start manifesting it to imagine how it would feel and what would it look like? If you don't even know what makes you happy or would bring you to a state of peace or full satisfaction, then, hey baby, then what do we have? And so definitely one of my goals for myself and for my family, and especially for the younger teenagers in my family, is to really start being intentional about helping them to explore who they want to be, or who are they actually, just who are you, like what makes you you, and like what makes you happy, what brings you peace, what brings you joy. This is crazy, y'all. I just want y'all to see this. What? Oh my god. Oh, please don't pee on me. Message kind of sabotaged by those things. But yeah, because it's so important to have that compass to know who you're going to be and like what you need, like how your environment, how your space is, what do you want to accomplish, what are the activities you want to do to bring you to the states of beings that you want to be in. And if there are things about yourself, once you identify those things, once you identify those habits, right? Once you identify those things in your childhood, even as a teenager, things in your childhood that have happened to you, that have conditioned you, have made you think the way that you have, then you have to dissecting, okay, I like that, I don't like that, I want to keep that, I want to let that go. I have people in my life that are my friends, I like them, they compliment who I am, or I don't like them, and they really out of alignment of where I want to be. So if I am a teenager and I grew up around a whole bunch of people who don't have any aspirations, who don't have any goals, who are doing drugs, who their vision for their life is to stay in the same place and do the same thing and never grow, probably don't want to be around them. But if I'm around a group of people who enjoy themselves, who like to have fun, who like to create, who like to build things, who are authentic. Get off me! Get off! Sorry, y'all. These cicadas is making it harder for me to do this message. But who, who are authentic and caring and love and free in their minds, don't have limiting beliefs, then that's the group of people I want to be around. So we have to know who we are first. We have to know who we are first. I'm sorry, y'all. Between the cicadas, the seagulls, and my family, this message is hard today. They like making it impossible. But you have to know who you are. And you have to be comfortable with who you are. And that's flesh and spiritual. That's flesh and intellectual. That's flesh and behavioral. That's flesh in terms of mental. You have to be comfortable. Your background, like for me, identity was a big deal for me. I was mixed. When a time when being mixed wasn't really acceptable or welcome. I had to deal with that. I had to learn to accept that. I had to be comfortable in my identity. And even though I was what you would consider here a state of lack in terms of material, I had to learn that who I was in that moment I was not limited to those boundaries and those confinements, that even though that was my situation, who I could be was not limited to those limits, to those boundaries. So in other words, my circumstance just was that, but it wasn't me. And that is what we have to become comfortable with. If we don't like our state that we're in, then we can always change it. We can choose to change it. We can identify about what about ourselves we like and what we don't like. And then we can set a course to change that. We can set a vision for our lives. We can set a vision for ourselves, our attitudes, our beliefs, how we show up, how we live, how we love. We can set a different path, but we have to first identify it and know it and be truthful with ourselves about who we are in order to set the course for our life. All right, y'all. I hope this is helpful. I hope y'all are having a beautiful weekend.